Hey Mario,
Yeah, Dedede?
have you ever gotten the feeling that you got started doing something a while ago and you never got finished with it?
Wow, what do you mean, Dedede?
I mean, like, 2 years ago, I remembered I reviewed Donkey Kong Land and Donkey Kong Land 2 for the Game Boy. I never quite felt right after Hey, well, would you look at that? Well, guess I'm gonna have to review it.
What, you just gonna leave me here?
Donkey Kong Land 3 for the Game Boy. A follow-up to not only Donkey Kong Land 2, but also Donkey Kong Land 1. Let's check it out. Donkey Kong Land 3 for the Game Boy. This is actually one of my favorite Game Boy games of all time. So, without further ado, let's check it out. The plot for this game is quite unlike any other Donkey Kong game. In the Northern Hemisphere, there's a contest to see who can find the fabled Lost World first. Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong team up and rush off. Dixie Kong and Kiddy Kong are also on a team, who you get to play as, and Baron K. Rulenstein is trying to find it himself. Simple, yet strange. In order for Dixie and Kiddy to find the Lost World, they'll have to go through the areas of the Northern Hemisphere. These areas are Cape Codswallop, the Primate Plains, Black Forest Plateau, the Great Ape Lakes, and Tin Can Valley, where Baron K. Rulenstein resides. Graphically, Donkey Kong Land 3 takes the Donkey Kong Land 2 approach, in it that the graphics are phenomenal, but at the same time not too phenomenal so you don't see what you're doing, leaving enough space so that you can see your characters and the enemies. Gameplay-wise, it's just as smooth as Donkey Kong Land 2, and the levels are more optimized for the field of view given for the Game Boy. Musically, the Donkey Kong Country 3 soundtrack actually sounds really great here, and the remixes are phenomenal. Some I actually prefer more than their Super Nintendo originals. Now here's the part of the review where I spoil the ending and the bosses, so be warned. The bosses in Donkey Kong Land 3 are very different from Donkey Kong Country 3's bosses, yet they are all the same familiar faces. The first boss is Barbosa, the second boss is Bleak, the third boss is Arich, the fourth boss is Chaos, and the final boss is against Baron K. Rulenstein. However, after beating Tin Can Valley, you finally get to go to the Lost World. But that's not before you get to see the credits of the game. After the credits, then you'll be able to go to the fabled Lost World, in which K. Rool proposes a double or nothing offer. Here are some of the hardest levels in the game, per the usual. And hopefully you've gotten all the bonus coins from all the bonus stages, which, by the way, are back, per the usual, and hopefully you've gotten all the coin Kremlings and their DK coins, and hopefully you got all the 6 watches up to this point. Getting all this will allow you to fight the final boss against Baron K. Rulenstein in his last stand. Once you defeat him, he'll give you 6 more watches, and now you can access all 12 of the time trials. The time trials, while I do think are quite a novel idea, having been done very well in some games, are not my cup of tea here. The reason being that most of these levels weren't really meant to be rushed through, and it kind of feels as though the time trials thing was sort of tacked on at the end. But if you do manage to beat these very strict times, you'll get a trophy with a 103%. Overall, while I think that Donkey Kong Land 3 is the best in the Donkey Kong Land trilogy, it's far from perfect in my opinion, which is why I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Anywho, this is King Dedede, and I'll see you next time.
Even 2 years after the running joke ended, I'm still left in the dark.